Have you ever wondered if there's a spiritual lesson you can learn from every challenge life throws your way? It's a question that many of us may not stop to ask, especially when we're in the middle of a struggle or a difficult time. We tend to focus so much on the hardship itself that we forget to look for the growth and transformation that can come from it. Life has a way of throwing curveballs at us often when we least expect it, and sometimes the weight of those challenges can be overwhelming. However, in every challenge there lies an opportunity for us to learn, grow, and evolve. It's in these moments of adversity that we can discover lessons that shape not only our character, but also our spiritual journey. The key lies in recognizing these lessons when they arise and using them as stepping stones to become better versions of ourselves. Life is full of challenges, and each one brings an opportunity for us to grow. However, often we focus solely on the hardship and fail to recognize that every challenge contains valuable spiritual lessons that can help us grow mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. When we face difficulties, it can be hard to see beyond the immediate discomfort or the problem at hand. Whether it's personal loss, a career setback, a strained relationship, or any other challenge, our instinct is often to resist the pain, avoid the discomfort, or wish for it to go away quickly. But in doing so, we miss the deeper lessons that are embedded within these experiences. Each challenge offers a unique opportunity for spiritual growth, whether it's learning, patience, cultivating gratitude, developing resilience, or deepening our faith. In this video, we will explore how to identify spiritual lessons in the challenges we face, and how to use those lessons to grow and become stronger through adversity. The goal of this video is to help you recognize the spiritual lessons hidden within every challenge you face, so that not only can you overcome difficulties, but also grow and become stronger through them. It's easy to feel defeated by life's obstacles, especially when they seem overwhelming or insurmountable. But by shifting our perspective and seeing these challenges as opportunities to learn, we can transform how we approach and handle adversity. Instead of being defined by the struggles we face, we can allow these moments to refine us, build our strength, and expand our capacity for empathy, understanding, and spiritual connection. By the end of this video, you will have a new understanding of how to look at life's challenges through a spiritual lens. You'll be empowered to see the lessons within each challenge and embrace the growth that comes with overcoming obstacles. Remember, every challenge is not just a test, it is an invitation to evolve spiritually and to become more connected to your true self and to the divine. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe for more content on how to recognize spiritual lessons and overcome challenges in life. By subscribing, you'll continue to gain insights that can help you navigate life with wisdom, strength, and spiritual clarity. When we face personal challenges like loss, illness, or career failure, we often feel hopeless and may struggle to see any meaningful lesson in what we're going through. These types of difficulties can seem overwhelming and sometimes even unbearable. Whether we're dealing with the pain of losing a loved one, facing a health crisis, or experiencing setbacks in our professional lives, the immediate response is often one of frustration, sadness, or despair. It's natural to focus on the pain and hardship, and it can feel like there is no way out. In such moments, it's difficult to look beyond the surface and see the deeper lessons that may be hidden within the struggle. However, if we allow ourselves to reflect on these experiences with an open heart and mind, we can uncover spiritual lessons that not only help us heal, but also foster growth and transformation. Personal challenges have a unique way of pushing us to the limits of our strength, and while these moments are painful, they also provide opportunities to tap into deeper sources of wisdom and resilience. Spiritual lessons in personal challenges are often subtle but powerful. One of the most significant lessons we can learn from personal difficulties is the importance of learning to let go and accept what cannot be changed. When we face a situation that is beyond our control, whether it's the death of a loved one, a diagnosis that changes the course of our life, or a career setback, the natural inclination is to resist, fight, or try to change the circumstances. We want things to go back to normal, to undo what's happened or to somehow make the pain go away. However, part of the spiritual journey is learning how to let go of what we cannot control. Accepting that some things are simply beyond our ability to change is one of the hardest yet most powerful lessons we can learn. Letting go doesn't mean giving up or resigning ourselves to despair. Rather, it means finding peace in the midst of uncertainty. It's about accepting the reality of the situation, finding ways to cope, and trusting that even in the hardest moments, we are still supported by a greater force that guides us through. This process of letting go can be liberating as it allows us to release the burden of trying to control everything and instead trust in the flow of life. Another spiritual lesson that often arises from personal challenges is the discovery of the value of patience and inner healing. When we are faced with a crisis, we often expect quick solutions or immediate relief. We want to heal, move on, or fix the situation as soon as possible. But healing, whether physical, emotional, or spiritual, takes time. It's not something that can be rushed or forced. Through personal challenges, we learn the importance of being patient with ourselves and allowing time for the healing process to unfold. Whether it's recovering from a health condition, rebuilding after a career setback, or learning to cope with the emotional aftermath of a loss, patience is essential. The spiritual lesson here is that true healing often comes in stages, and it requires us to honor the process. We cannot rush the growth that comes from pain. It's in the quiet moments of waiting and reflection that we often find the deepest healing. Patience teaches us to trust in the timing of life, knowing that every season has its purpose and that healing is as much about learning to be kind to ourselves during the process as it is about achieving the end result. Finding gratitude and restoration through suffering is another profound spiritual lesson that arises from personal challenges. It may seem impossible to feel grateful during difficult times, yet many of the most transformative spiritual lessons emerge from our ability to find gratitude even in the midst of hardship. This does not mean we should deny or suppress our pain. Rather, it means recognizing that even in our suffering there are things to be thankful for. Gratitude can shift our focus from what is lost or broken to what remains and what can still be appreciated. For example, if we are dealing with illness, we may find gratitude for the support of loved ones, for moments of peace amidst the chaos, or for the strength we discover within ourselves as we face the challenge. Similarly, if we have experienced a loss, we can find gratitude for the love we shared, for the lessons learned, and for the memories that will stay with us. Through suffering, we often discover deeper aspects of ourselves and others that we might not have appreciated before. The act of gratitude becomes a form of spiritual restoration, helping us to heal and move forward with a greater sense of peace and acceptance. Real-life examples of spiritual lessons from personal challenges can offer powerful insights into how we can find meaning and growth through adversity. For instance, consider the story of someone who's gone through a great loss, such as the death of a close family member. In the immediate aftermath of such a loss, the individual might feel overwhelmed with grief, anger, and confusion. However, over time, this person may come to realize that the loss, while painful, has helped them understand the true value of love, life, and relationships. They may find that the pain of loss has deepened their capacity for compassion, empathy, and understanding. This person may begin to cherish every moment they have with their remaining loved ones, embracing the preciousness of life in a new way. The spiritual lesson here is that through grief, we often find a deeper connection to the people we care about and a renewed sense of appreciation for the moments we have. Similarly, someone who has faced a career failure may initially feel discouraged and defeated. However, this setback may teach them important lessons about resilience, perseverance, and the importance of following their passion. Through the process of reflection and personal growth, they may discover new strengths and talents that they had not recognized before. This experience could lead them to a new career path that is more aligned with their values and passions, offering them a sense of fulfillment and purpose that they didn't have before. The spiritual lesson in this case is that failure is not an end, but rather a beginning, a stepping stone to discovering what truly matters and what we are capable of achieving when we don't give up. Perhaps you've gone through a great loss or faced a difficult personal challenge yourself. Think about what you learned from those experiences. What lessons did you take away that helped you become stronger? How did those challenges shape your character and your perspective on life? Often it is through the most painful experiences that we uncover the most profound spiritual lessons. These lessons may not always be obvious at first, but with time and reflection they reveal themselves, helping us grow in ways we never imagined. In conclusion, personal challenges are not just obstacles to overcome, they're opportunities to uncover spiritual lessons that help us grow. Through the struggles we face, we learn to let go of what we cannot control, discover the importance of patience and inner healing, and find gratitude even in our suffering. These lessons are the building blocks of our spiritual growth, and while the pain may feel overwhelming in the moment, it is through this very pain that we are often transformed. Every challenge we face holds the potential for personal and spiritual growth. The key is to approach each challenge with an open heart, willing to learn, grow, and discover the deeper lessons that lie within. Through our personal challenges, we find the strength, resilience, and wisdom that help us navigate the rest of our lives. Sometimes challenges come from our relationships with others, from conflicts, misunderstandings, or emotional pain in social interactions. These challenges can be painful, but they also provide opportunities to learn and grow. Relationships are one of the most fundamental aspects of human life, and they shape who we are in profound ways. Whether it's family, friends, co-workers, or even strangers, our interactions with others often expose us to different perspectives, personalities, and emotional landscapes. While relationships can bring joy, love, and support, they can also bring conflict, hurt, and misunderstandings. In these moments of tension or distress, it's easy to focus solely on the pain and frustration we experience. However, when we take a step back and reflect, we can begin to see the deeper spiritual lessons embedded in these experiences. Challenges in relationships offer us valuable opportunities to practice essential virtues like forgiveness, compassion, understanding, and patience. They push us to expand our capacity for empathy and to recognize the importance of accepting differences in others. Every conflict, every misunderstanding, and every moment of emotional pain is a chance to learn more about ourselves and others and to deepen our spiritual growth. One of the most profound spiritual lessons that can arise from social and relationship challenges is the practice of forgiveness and compassion. Forgiveness is often considered one of the most difficult and yet most important virtues to cultivate, especially when we have been wronged or hurt by others. In relationships, conflicts are inevitable, and misunderstandings or emotional pain are often a part of the process. The challenge is how we choose to respond when these situations arise. Holding on to anger, resentment, or bitterness only creates further division and pain. Forgiveness, on the other hand, has the power to heal and restore relationships. It is not always easy to forgive, especially when we feel deeply hurt. But forgiveness is not just about letting the other person off the hook. It's about releasing ourselves from the burden of negative emotions that weigh us down. It is an act of liberation, allowing us to move forward with a lighter heart and an open mind. When we forgive, we are also practicing compassion, understanding that everyone is human and we all make mistakes. By embracing forgiveness, we not only heal ourselves but also foster healing in the relationship, creating space for growth and reconciliation. Through forgiveness and compassion, we learn to let go of grudges and to cultivate a deeper sense of peace in our hearts. Another important spiritual lesson in social and relationship challenges is learning to understand and empathize with others. In our fast-paced, often self-centered world, it can be easy to forget that everyone has their own struggles, burdens, and emotional battles. When we face conflicts or misunderstandings with others, our initial instinct may be to defend ourselves, to argue our point, or to place blame. However, the true spiritual lesson lies in the ability to step into the other person's shoes and try to understand their perspective. Understanding others requires us to set aside our ego and listen with an open heart, not just to respond, but to genuinely understand what they are going through. It requires patience and humility to recognize that other people's actions are often influenced by their own experiences, pain, and emotions. By taking the time to listen and empathize, we open the door to deeper connection and mutual respect. Empathy is not about agreeing with the other person, but about acknowledging their feelings and experiences. When we understand others, we cultivate compassion, and this creates a foundation of trust and respect in our relationships. Empathy allows us to bridge the gap between differences and brings us closer to the people we interact with. Developing patience and accepting differences is another critical spiritual lesson that arises from relationship challenges. Relationships with others inevitably involve differences in opinions, values, and ways of life. These differences can sometimes lead to friction, but they also provide opportunities for growth. Patience teaches us to bear with one another, to accept that not everyone will see things the way we do, and to remain calm and understanding in the face of conflict. Developing patience in relationships requires a deep level of self-control and emotional maturity. It means resisting the urge to react impulsively or harshly when disagreements arise and instead choosing to respond with grace and composure. Patience also involves giving others the time and space they need to process their own feelings and thoughts. This spiritual lesson encourages us to recognize that relationships are not always smooth sailing, but they require effort, understanding, and time to nurture. Accepting differences is another essential aspect of patience. We live in a world full of diversity, and the ability to accept and celebrate our differences rather than judge or criticize them is a vital spiritual lesson. When we embrace diversity, we cultivate an inclusive and loving environment where people can thrive and feel valued for who they are. Instead of focusing on what divides us, we learn to celebrate what makes us unique and appreciate the richness that these differences bring to our relationships. Real-life examples of spiritual lessons in relationships can help to illustrate how these concepts work in practice. For example, you may have experienced conflicts within your family or with friends, and during those challenging times you may have learned the importance of forgiveness, understanding, and compassion. Perhaps a family member hurt you with their words or actions, and at first you found it hard to forgive them. But as time passed, you realized that holding on to anger was only hurting you, and you made the conscious decision to forgive them. Through that process, you not only healed yourself, but also repaired your relationship with that family member. The act of forgiveness transformed the relationship, allowing it to grow stronger and more meaningful. Similarly, in friendships, there may have been moments of misunderstanding or emotional pain, but these challenges can teach us valuable lessons about patience and empathy. For example, if a close friend said something that hurt you, instead of jumping to conclusions or retaliating, you might take the time to ask them about their feelings and clarify the situation. Through this dialogue, you can come to understand their perspective and learn how to communicate more effectively in the future. This experience may strengthen the friendship and deepen the emotional bond between you. By practicing patience and understanding, you not only resolve the conflict, but also cultivate a deeper connection that can withstand future challenges. Another example is the lesson of accepting differences in romantic relationships. Differences in values, lifestyles, or communication styles can lead to misunderstandings or conflict in relationships. However, embracing these differences and learning to navigate them with respect can strengthen the relationship in ways that are spiritually enriching. For instance, you might be in a relationship where your partner has different beliefs or approaches to certain aspects of life, and rather than seeing these differences as a threat, you learn to appreciate and accept them. This acceptance allows for mutual growth and deepens the emotional and spiritual connection you share. Through challenges, you may discover that you are capable of compromising, learning new perspectives, and growing together as a couple. In conclusion, the challenges we face in relationships are not just obstacles to overcome, they are opportunities for spiritual growth. Through conflicts, misunderstandings, and emotional pain, we learn to practice forgiveness and compassion, to empathize with others, and to develop patience and acceptance. These spiritual lessons help us build stronger, more meaningful relationships and deepen our understanding of ourselves and others. Every relationship, whether with family, friends, or colleagues, offers the chance to practice these virtues and become better versions of ourselves. As we navigate the ups and downs of relationships, we are given the opportunity to learn and grow spiritually, to cultivate love and understanding, and to build connections that can withstand life's challenges. When we embrace the lessons in each interaction, we not only improve our relationships, but also move closer to our own spiritual enlightenment. Often we encounter small challenges in our daily life at work, in our studies, or with our family. While these challenges may seem insignificant, they hold valuable spiritual lessons if we know how to look for them. It is easy to overlook the importance of these everyday struggles as we navigate the routines and responsibilities of daily life. Whether it's dealing with a difficult project at work, managing the demands of school, or experiencing minor conflicts with family members, we tend to focus more on the inconvenience or frustration these challenges bring, rather than seeing them as opportunities for personal growth. However, each of these seemingly small challenges can be a window into deeper spiritual lessons that help us grow in patience, resilience, and understanding. Learning to recognize these lessons in the mundane and the routine can lead us to a more peaceful, fulfilling life. In everyday challenges, we can find opportunities to practice spiritual virtues, cultivate gratitude, and develop a deeper connection to the present moment. One of the most important spiritual lessons we can learn from daily life challenges is finding peace in difficult situations. Life is full of small hurdles, and often these can become sources of stress, anxiety, or frustration. Whether it's a deadline that's approaching an argument with a colleague or the pressure of juggling multiple responsibilities, these challenges can easily disrupt our sense of peace. However, the ability to find peace in these moments is a powerful spiritual lesson. Peace is not the absence of difficulty, but the ability to maintain calmness and clarity in the face of it. When we encounter a challenge in daily life, we can choose how we respond to it. Instead of allowing ourselves to become overwhelmed by stress, we can practice mindfulness, deep breathing, or simply take a step back and reflect on the situation with a clear mind. By finding peace in these small moments of tension, we cultivate inner stillness that helps us navigate more significant challenges with greater ease. This ability to stay grounded in the present moment, regardless of the external circumstances, is a spiritual practice that can transform our daily life. Another valuable spiritual lesson in everyday life challenges is discovering purpose and meaning in everyday tasks. Many of us tend to view routine tasks like cleaning the house, doing laundry, running errands, or even attending meetings as burdensome chores that take up our time. We often overlook the spiritual significance of these seemingly mundane activities. However, when we shift our perspective, we can begin to see these tasks as opportunities to connect with a deeper sense of purpose. Every task, no matter how small, can be performed with mindfulness and intentionality. By embracing the idea that everything we do contributes to the greater good, we can find meaning in even the most routine activities. For example, cooking a meal for our family can be an act of love and care. Doing chores around the house can create an environment of peace and order, and going to work can be an opportunity to serve others and contribute to society. When we approach these tasks with a sense of purpose, they transform from mundane activities into acts of spiritual fulfillment. Recognizing the meaning in everyday tasks is a reminder that our lives are filled with moments of service, love, and growth, even in the smallest of actions. Realizing the impermanence of difficulties is another profound spiritual lesson that comes from daily life challenges. In our fast-paced world, we often find ourselves consumed by the problems and stresses of the moment. We may feel that the challenges we face are overwhelming and permanent, but the truth is that all difficulties are temporary. This recognition is a key spiritual lesson in learning how to cope with the ups and downs of daily life. When we are in the midst of a challenging situation, it can feel like it will never end. Whether it's dealing with a difficult coworker, managing personal stress, or facing a minor setback, it's easy to lose sight of the fact that these challenges will eventually pass. When we remember the impermanence of difficulties, we are able to approach them with a greater sense of detachment and perspective. We can recognize that this moment of hardship is just one part of a much larger picture, and that with time, patience, and effort, things will change. This understanding helps us find peace in the face of adversity and allows us to navigate life's challenges with greater resilience. Realizing the impermanence of difficulties teaches us to approach each situation with a sense of perspective, knowing that everything is temporary and change is always on the horizon. Real-life examples of spiritual lessons in daily life challenges are abundant if we take the time to reflect on our own experiences. For example, when you feel stressed about work or life, a spiritual lesson might be about maintaining inner peace and finding purpose in what seems like mundane tasks. Imagine waking up to a busy day filled with meetings, deadlines, and tasks that feel endless. In the midst of this, you might feel overwhelmed and anxious, but instead of getting lost in frustration, you can choose to pause, take a deep breath, and reconnect with the present moment. This simple act of pausing is a form of spiritual practice. It's a way of reclaiming peace in the midst of chaos. By choosing to respond calmly and thoughtfully to the stresses of the day, you're cultivating resilience and spiritual strength. Similarly, a challenging interaction with a colleague or family member can offer a profound spiritual lesson. In moments of conflict, it can be easy to react defensively with frustration or anger. However, if we choose to approach the situation with compassion and empathy, we can transform a moment of tension into an opportunity for growth. For example, if you're dealing with a disagreement with a friend rather than getting caught up in the argument, you might take a step back and listen with an open heart. By practicing active listening and seeking to understand their perspective, you not only diffuse the conflict, but also deepen your connection with that person. This ability to approach conflict with empathy and understanding is a powerful spiritual lesson in recognizing the inherent value in each individual and fostering harmony in relationships. Another example could be in the context of family responsibilities. Whether it's caring for a child, supporting an elderly parent, or maintaining the household, these daily responsibilities can sometimes feel overwhelming and thankless. However, when we recognize the spiritual significance of these tasks, we can find joy and fulfillment in them. Caring for a loved one can be an act of love and service that deepens our connection to them and to our own sense of compassion. Taking the time to serve others in our family, even in small ways, brings us closer to understanding the importance of love and connection in the family unit. By embracing these responsibilities with an open heart, we transform them into spiritual practices that bring us closer to our higher purpose. In conclusion, everyday life challenges, though they may seem small or insignificant, are filled with valuable spiritual lessons that can help us grow in patience, resilience, and understanding. Finding peace in difficult situations, discovering purpose in everyday tasks, and realizing the impermanence of challenges are just a few of the spiritual lessons that can be learned from the routine struggles we encounter. By approaching these challenges with mindfulness and a willingness to learn, we can uncover deeper insights that enrich our lives and deepen our connection to the present moment. Life is a series of opportunities to grow spiritually, and the key is to recognize the lessons within each challenge, no matter how small it may seem. When we begin to view life through this lens, we transform our experiences from mundane tasks into meaningful spiritual practices that help us evolve into our best selves. Every challenge, no matter how routine, is an opportunity to learn, grow, and deepen our spiritual connection to ourselves and the world around us. In summary, by recognizing spiritual lessons in every challenge, whether personal, social, or everyday life, we see that challenges aren't just obstacles, but opportunities to grow and develop spiritually. Life presents us with numerous difficulties, each of which carries its own potential for growth. When we begin to shift our perspective and view challenges not as burdens to bear, but as stepping stones to greater self-awareness and spiritual enlightenment, we open ourselves to a transformative process. Whether it's dealing with personal pain and loss, navigating complex social interactions, or finding meaning in the seemingly mundane tasks of daily life, each challenge offers a chance to deepen our understanding of ourselves and our connection to the divine. By embracing these lessons, we become more resilient, compassionate, and spiritually aligned with our higher purpose. The key lies in recognizing that every challenge holds a deeper meaning, and it is through these trials that we have the chance to uncover new strengths, wisdom, and inner peace. If you're having trouble recognizing the spiritual lessons in your challenges, don't worry. Every difficulty, big or small, can become an opportunity for you to learn and grow. It's not always easy to see the lessons in the midst of pain or struggle, but with time and reflection, the wisdom within each challenge will become clear. Trust that every challenge contains a lesson that will help you become stronger and wiser. It might not always be evident right away, but as you reflect on your experiences and open yourself to the possibility of spiritual growth, you will begin to uncover the deeper meaning behind every hardship. Life's difficulties are not meant to break you, but to mold you into the person you're meant to become. So be patient with yourself, embrace the lessons as they come, and trust that each challenge is an opportunity for transformation. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe for more content on how to recognize spiritual lessons and overcome challenges in life. By subscribing, you'll gain access to more insights and practical tips on how to navigate life's challenges with wisdom and grace. Remember, every challenge is an opportunity for growth, and by learning to recognize the spiritual lessons within them, you'll find yourself becoming a stronger, wiser, and more resilient person. Stay connected, stay open, and keep growing in your spiritual journey. Life is full of lessons. Are you ready to embrace them?